Presented by Sprouts Farmers Market. Only 2 weeks left in the collegiate gymnastics season, and the best matchup left on the schedule, well, it's this one. The number 2 team in the country, the LSU Tigers, have traveled to Gainesville to take on the number 4 team in the nation, the Florida Gators. The crowd is loving it. They are rowdy here at the O-Dome, and they are ready to see their team get a late season win. Hello everyone, I am John Roethlisberger, joined by Olympic silver medalist Sam Pesek, Olympic champion Allie Raisman. Late in the season, guys, what are both of these teams trying to accomplish tonight?
Well, as we get so close to the postseason, it is critical that these athletes continue to build confidence and momentum as we get closer to SEC championships and the national championships.
These teams also want to solidify their lineups. It's a blessing and a curse to have so much talent on their roster that so many of these athletes could go in and do a great job for these teams. So figuring out who's going to be in these positions is critical.
Well, you want to talk about talent, look no further than Kaylin Chio for LSU, number 1 gymnast in the country currently.
Kaylin Chio's consistency and ability to handle pressure is unmatched. 5 out of 9 meets this season, she has gotten a 10. Including 3 in a row on beam. Could she get her 4th 10 in a row tonight? I think she can.
And if you're thinking about Florida and you're looking at the stats, it might seem like they're struggling on vault since it's their lowest ranked event. But guys, I've been watching warm up each weekend. This was from earlier today, and they are nailing the landings. It is not a technical issue. The key for them is to be able to handle the adrenaline of the competition in order to hit a good one when it counts.
You want to talk about stuck vault landings. No one does it better than Kaylin Chio. 7 on the season. The whole Florida Gator team's got 13. We'll see if she can get number 8 tonight. Well, we've got the fourth member of our team, Taylor Davis. She's got more on the LSU mindset. Taylor.
That's right, John. LSU is just 2 years removed from that national championship win. After coming up short last year on semifinal day, this group is determined to get back to that final day in Fort Worth. In fact, the team held an athletes-only meeting this week to talk about the need to be locked in from here on out. Members of that 24 team spoke about what it felt like to win that title and what it ultimately took to get there. With postseason just a couple weeks away, both of these teams know this meet can be the perfect barometer of what they can do down the stretch.
Thanks, Taylor. Yes, the postseason looming in women's gymnastics. Just one more regular season weekend coming up after this one. Here's the format. 6 gymnasts compete on each event. The top 5 scores count. You can drop that low, so if you have a mistake, not the end of the world, but don't have 2. Add up those scores. Highest score wins. The home team, the Florida Gators, you can see them getting ready to go on vault. They go in Olympic order. They'll end on floor exercise. Meanwhile, the visitors got to start on bars, but more importantly, they got to end on beam. Tough event to end on, especially if it is a tight competition. Gabby Dizador for the Florida Gators. On an event, they have the big-time vaults, but they have not really put together a full vault lineup yet this year. Gabby Dizador leading off. Skylar Drazer, correction.
This is a really important role for her to get things going for Florida, and that is an excellent sign for Florida. She put it to her feet, good shapes in the air, controlled landing.
And last week, no one from Florida broke a 9-9, so Florida's going to be thrilled with that start.
Be interesting to see how they matriculate through this vault lineup, see if they can get some of those stuck landings. Someone who's been an incredible leadoff for the LSU Tigers is Lexi Zeiss. Here she is on bars, just a sophomore, but sensational athlete.
Yeah, John, head coach Jay Clark says that Lexi is just wired to be able to handle the pressure to go first. Unfortunately, was not supposed to do that half turn. Doing a good job of continuing on. It's really hard when you don't start off that first skill, that first handstand, to calm yourself down. Throws off your entire rhythm.
But man, that is an impressive save. She actually didn't come off the bar, so she added elements, which makes it so much more exhausting.
It also adds, you're right, Sam, a lot of endurance. You don't train to do this, and just the arm strength it takes just completely overshot the handstand. But I give Lexi a lot of credit for going big.
Big vault coming up here from MJ Frazier in the 2 spot, following that 9.85 from Drazer.
Yurchenko double full is the most difficult vault in NCAA gymnastics right now. She didn't compete the last 2 weekends. That was the best one that I've seen her do. Couple steps on the landing, but her block, straight arms on the table. Look at her elbows. They are really strong. Her right one was still bent a little bit, but the amount of block that she got was a big improvement from the last time she competed.
Those landings though, Sam, big hop, then small hop. You just open yourself up for big time deductions, especially on vault. Judges have really been taking those this season, and we'll see how hard they hit her on those landing deductions. Ashley Cowan will be the second gymnast to go. She is a senior for the LSU Tigers.
This is a really crucial role because they're going to want to drop Lexi Zeiss's score.
Ashley Cowan's the 2024 uneven bars champion in the SEC, so have that in the 2 spot is pretty good. And that 9-7 from Lexi Zeiss, they're going to want to drop that score. That is not a score either one of these teams want to have to count tonight.
And Ashley's been doing this connection right here for 8 years. Oh, it is so difficult to go after a mistake.
Wow, and this is...
Looked like she released the bar just a hair too late. If you watch when her feet come off the bar, she wanted to release the bar just a little bit earlier and then didn't look like she got her hand fully over the bar.
It looked like she should have, though. She looked close enough. And they've got those dowels, those little round dowels in the grips. If you don't get those all the way over the bar.
And sometimes you're human. This is, you're in a different environment. Sometimes when you get up on the bars, when you're competing, it feels different. Lexi might have a different bounce to her bars, and you just got to adapt right in the moment. Very difficult to mentally reset yourself to go again. Great finish. I think it's one of the hardest things as an athlete to continue to go after you make a mistake.
So for LSU, that means they're counting that 9-7 from Lexi Zeiss. In a meet with these caliber of teams, 9-8s, those are the scores that kind of keep you in it. But if you're going to win the meet, you've got to average, in my opinion, a 9-9, maybe slightly more than that. That gets you to that 198. So counting a 9-7, not good. Do the math at home. You're trying to average a 9-9, throwing a 9-7 in there is not going to help you. So tough spot now for the LSU Tigers. They're going to have to rally. Meanwhile, we're going back over to vault. MJ Frazier, a 9-8. Here's Kayla DiCello here in the 3rd spot.
She struggled a bit on this Yurchenko 1.5 in warm-up. She did put some to her feet. Sometimes I think having a bad warm-up can actually help you in the competition. And it did for Kayla DiCello right here.
Was that a hop or was that a scooch, Sam?
Regardless, it was minimal and controlled. That's what the judges want to see, and this score is going to be huge. Her best one in weeks. That's a stick, John. Come on.
That is not a stick, Sam. There's definitely a little hop.
Watch her upper body. Her arms come out. You're right, there's a little movement of the feet. Okay, but the judges don't get the luxury of seeing in slow motion like we do 3 times in a row.
Probably a 1/2 hop, though. That's about the smallest one you can get. Now, Madison Ulrich, the junior. This is a big-time early pressure moment for the Tigers. You can see that 9-3 from Cowan. Certainly don't want to have to count that one.
Madison's got 6 scores of 9-9 higher in a row on bars, so nobody better for LSU to go up right now.
Head coach Jay Clark calls her the stabilizer on any event. That's what she needs to be right here.
There you go. Stop the bleeding is what we call that. And it was some bleeding going on bars on those first 2 routines, but Madison Ulrich delivers. Kayla DiCello, a 9.95. Judges looked like they might have just got that 1/2 on the landing on what was otherwise a great vault. So opportunity for the Florida Gators. 3 vaulters yet to go. Danny Ferris, the next one right here. Can they take advantage of these early mistakes from the Tigers? Maybe get some distance and ride that through the end of the meet.
Her confidence has grown so much, especially on this vault. so close, just under-rotated, didn't quite follow through, getting her chest all the way around. Had to take that step backwards.
Will be interesting to see what the judges do, because vault is the only event that they take a 1/10 under rotation deduction, as well as that step back.
There is head coach Jenny Rowland in her 11th season, has been the coach of the year during her tenure here at Florida, but the one thing she has not gotten yet is that national title. She's got some SEC championships, but still looking for that first one as head coach. Now, #1 gymnast in the country, Kaylin Chio. Still a lot of pressure here on this LSU lineup.
Kaylin has a big test right here, this release move right here. Watch her elbow position as she catches the bar. Gorgeous.
You know, we asked head coach Jay Clark, what's working for Kaylin Chio? And his response was great. He said, what's not working for Kaylin Chio?
Everything.
She can do it when there's pressure, when there's not pressure.
This release move to me is just breathtaking, the way that she just keeps her elbows so tight and knees and toes just squeezed together the entire time. Hard to find a place where to deduct.
The only event that she has not yet gotten a 10 in her career, that one's not going to be a 10. I don't see the judges throwing a 10 right there. 9-9 for Ulrich right before her, though. The score should build. Now Sky Blakely.
Didn't compete last weekend. Hop back on the landing. This is really a watered-down vault to what she did in college. So for her, the challenge is figuring out how to open, how to maybe flare, because she has so much power in the air. She needs to absorb that landing.
Competed that vault as an elite with another full twist on it, and that was going to be the key for her making that 2024 Olympic team. As you probably heard, tore her Achilles tendon, didn't make that team. Heartbreaking for her. Jay Clark, in his 6th season as the LSU head coach, 2 years ago got that school their first national title. Last year, however, disappointing national championships, didn't even make the finals as the #1 team ranked in the nation heading into the postseason. So trying to learn from that. Here's Courtney Blackson now following Kaylin Chio's 9-9, so a pair of 9-9s for the Tigers.
And I've been so impressed with Courtney. She took an entire year off of gymnastics, and to be able to do big release moves like the one we just saw from Kaylin right here, just massive. Honestly, the highest I've ever seen anybody to do it.
Nice. I mean, she scored a 9.95 on this event already this year. Great to see her back in the lineup.
3 stuck landings in a row for the Tigers. Ulrich Chio and now Blackson with only Connor McLean yet to go. Florida on vault. 3 scores in the 9-8. They got that big Kayla DiCello 9.95 in there.
Judges are looking for vertical. They want to see those handstands at 12 o'clock. She does a good job hitting them and then holding for a split second just to show the judges, hey, I'm truly here. You can't take anything.
Still waiting for that Sky Blakely score to come in on vault. I wouldn't have been surprised, honestly, you guys, if that Ulrich and Chio score had been a little higher than a 9-9. Justifiable at the 9-9, but I've seen those routines go a tiny bit higher as well.
Well, we saw head coach Jay Clark shaking his head, and I'm willing to bet that he saw the scores before we did, and he was not super happy and pleased with the result.
So conference right now on the Sky Blakely vault, not really sure what they could be discussing. It was pretty straightforward.
Well, a medium step hop or slide is a 10th and a half. So maybe they're deciding whether that was a medium or a large. Large is a 2/10 deduction.
Selena Harris-Miranda, the senior, will be in the anchor spot for the Florida Gators. Now, she is one of these athletes. We mentioned Kaylin Chio in the open, how she sticks vaults. Selena can stick a vault. Early in the season, it seemed like she had it dialed in. Maybe has kind of gotten off that stuck vault train, but right now would be a great opportunity for her to bring it back.
Take a 1.5.
There it is.
She found the landing, just like we know that she can do.
The O-Dome, as you can imagine, like the Gator team, wants a 10. She has not gotten a 10 this season, even though she's done that vault just like this a couple of times.
Great air awareness. You see her head hanging back. That's because she's spotting behind her on the 1.5. It's a blind landing, but when you look sideways, you can see where you are. That helps her squeeze and know exactly where she is. Textbook landing.
Now Connor McLean in the anchor spot. She's as good as it gets on the uneven bars, looking for that first score to go above a 9-9 for the Tigers.
And that first handstand was just textbook. What's so impressive about that is Connor is battling a wrist injury, has only practiced dismounts on bars this entire week. You would never be able to know.
Wow.
Could be a 10. Phenomenal.
That was fantastic. 3 9-9s in a row. I suspect this one will go above a 9-9. Selena Harris-Miranda did not get the 10. And you probably heard the boos in the background during Connor's bar routine. Crowd was not pleased, but a 9.95. Sensational finish for them. A pair of 9.95s for the Florida Gators.
You know, no team wants to have a mistake, but I actually think this is a good thing heading into postseason. They know they're going to be battle tested a little bit, and the last back half of the lineup was able to handle the pressure no problem, which is a really good sign heading into that postseason.
And Allie, you said to Connor's bar routine, could be a 10. If it is a 10, get this, guys. If it is a 10, LSU's got the lead. And that's with counting that 9-7 and having a major break in that bar rotation. I don't think the judges are going to throw a 10 at this point. It doesn't feel like a 10 vibe going on right now. What do you think?
I didn't see any deductions. I mean, the handstand positions that Connor has are textbook and just exquisite to watch. So I'm hoping for a 10.
Well,
one judge gave her a 10.
10s aren't supposed to be a vibe, guys.
10s are emotional. One judge gave her a 10, the other a 9.95. So guess what? In the best matchup left in the regular season, we've got a tie after one rotation. SEC Women's Gymnastics is presented by Sprouts Farmers Market, official healthy grocer of the Southeastern Conference. LSU Tigers have won the last 2 SEC championships. The 2 prior to those belong to the Florida Gators. These 2 teams expected to be top contenders for that title March 21st in Tulsa, Oklahoma. All 9 teams will compete. The top 4 seeded teams will be in the evening session. The seeds 5 through 9 will be in the afternoon session. Both will be on the SEC network. So join us. It's going to be a fantastic competition. The SEC so competitive in women's gymnastics. No conference even comes close to the pedigree of the SEC. It can be tough to get through a regular season schedule. Jay Clark talks about that.
It's hard, you know. You go to Oklahoma, you come home for Alabama and see them twice in a weekend, and then go to Florida. I mean, my gosh, that's the most stacked roster in the nation. You know, it's part of being in the SEC. I don't think it's any different. I think you probably have other coaches on this campus that would say the same thing. You know, it's just part of the gig. You know, it's hard. It's a grind, but it also tends to bring out the best in probably all of our teams, because it's probably why we're all so good, is because we keep seeing each other.
The SEC reminds me of the women's gymnastics national team, because you could argue that it's harder to make that Olympic team than it is to win the gold medal, and that's just how competitive the SEC is.
Yeah, iron sharpens iron. That's the pro here. But the con is that there's really not a rest weekend. So that means they're not resting mentally or physically very much, maybe in comparison to some other conferences.
Yeah, the top 4 teams in the country, all from the SEC, like a preview of the national championships. And this one, preview of the SEC championships, were tied after one.
Welcome back here in Gainesville. Finishing rotation number 1. Things are tied in a large part because of this athlete right here. Nearly perfect 9.975. Every handstand was hit, legs glued together, and then the highlight was sticking the dismount. Maybe one heel slid ever so slightly. This is where the problems came for LSU early on in the rotation. Lexi Zeiss cast it over, but it wasn't a fall because she didn't touch her feet on the ground. This was Ashley Cowan who did have a fall right after that, so they recovered really nicely after a few of those mistakes.
And head coach Jay Clark says that he doesn't like to draw a lot of attention to a fall. They try to make a bigger deal on who's the next athlete that goes up, and they say it stops with you.
Well, guys, after that bar rotation, I actually listened in to head coach Jay Clark. He gathered the team and said that's a perfect example of why you keep fighting. He was so proud of the back half of that lineup, said, look at the scoreboard. We would not be in this position if you didn't keep fighting. Now let's carry it to vault.
Yeah, Taylor, this meet could have been over in one rotation if they let that continue. Lexi Zeiss started rough on bars. Here she is on vault.
Saw her stick this in the 30-second touch. Oh, man.
She needs bigger heels.
Just needed to be a little more patient as she's standing up.
And I loved the ease of that ball, and unfortunately, she's going to get an additional 10th off because she stepped back. It was an under rotation, but it was really good.
MJ Frazier leading things off on bars. This is an event that the Florida Gators ranked number 1 in the nation, LSU number 2 in the nation on vault. Both these teams ranked pretty high on every event with the exception of that Florida vault rotation. That's been their Achilles heel this season.
I like to call MJ Florida's not-so-secret weapon on this event here.
Sam, I agree. MJ is actually the only gymnast in the SEC to have 5.99 or better leadoff scores on bars. And it's because of the way that she keeps her hips open throughout the entire routine, even on that glide on that hip.
What do you take?
And it looks like she's going to continue with 6.99 or better scores tonight.
She's also a senior, so how special to do this on her senior night here at Florida.
And you had the question of the night. What do you take? And I'll be curious.
I love watching her hip position because everything just is with such ease and the rhythm that she's able to keep throughout.
MJ, a former elite gymnast, transferred from Cal after last season, but she was a member of a world championship team in 2021, along with Connor McLean, and here she is on vault.
Doing a Yurchenko full. Maximum value is a 9.95.
And it should be a 9.95.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. You can't do a Yurchenko full better than that. Look at her elbows on the table. She waits a beat before she starts twisting, chest vertical, doesn't even breathe when she hits the ground. That was beautiful.
Her former teammate, KJ Johnson from LSU last year, did that same vault and did it just like that. It's not the 10-0 start, but always executed it virtually perfect. Put some pressure on the judges to give them a 9.95 on that vault. Here's Anya Pilgrim now following a 9.925 for Frazier. What a start.
What I love about watching Anya is the calmness that she brings to her gymnastics. I cannot tell a difference between her practice and her competition, which is what makes her such a fantastic competitor.
Florida's been wanting to hone in on those sticks on vault, but also on bars, and they really seem like they're on a roll here tonight.
2 for 2 on stuck landings for the Florida Gators. Nicely done. Next Sunday, we'll have softball here on the SEC Network at 1 Eastern. Auburn takes on number 4 Oklahoma. Then at 7, number 16 LSU hosts number 15 Texas A&M. And as always, you can catch all the action on the ESPN app. A 9.825 for Lexi Zeiss in the leadoff spot. So waiting that Connor McLean score. Here's Victoria Roberts.
Front pike half, that's a 10-0 start value. Controlled landing, not not much to take in terms of execution and form in the air, just the hop on the landing.
Score for Connor McClain, not yet up on that score tower on the right hand of your screen. It's a 9.925. I'm being told that score tower on your right, if you hadn't figured it out already, puts all the scores for each athlete competing on their respective events. So 6 athletes per event, all 6 scores go up. The lighter shaded score, as you'll see as we go through, that's the one that will be dropped if it's the low score. So keep that in mind as you're following those totals. Sky Blakely, world class on this event, 4th in the world at the last World Championships. Here she is, 3rd up for the Gators.
And Sky has never gotten a 10 on this event, and I cannot figure out why. The way that she is so elongated and stretched all the way from her shoulders all the way to her feet on skills like this flexibility right here. Most people, including myself, do not have the flexibility to do that.
3 in a row.
I'm calling for a 10.
The second time tonight, Allie Raisman says, give it a 10. It's hard to argue with it.
Florida is on a roll, and Allie, I noticed the same thing about Sky's bars. It's the handstands to me. Her arms get straighter quicker than other athletes, and it has this polish to it that is unlike anyone else. Dynamic, beautifully, technically sound.
And this dismount is so difficult. Just the grip that she gets with her shoulders and wrists inverted like that is just remarkable.
Kalia Lincoln following Victoria Roberts, 9.85. It feels like the 9.8s are not going to help you tonight. The way Florida's rolling, got to get a big one here.
We can go 1.5.
There it is!
Wow, this meet is bananas. Excellent gymnastics, back and forth. This is the potential we've been looking for from these teams. Huge legs glued together till the very end, but knew exactly where she was at the beginning of the season, struggled to find the landing, but not tonight.
And the distance on that vault is exactly what the judges and coaches want to see.
The biggest difference to me, she throws her arms out to slow herself down more than any other athlete because she has so much power. Incredible vault from Kalia Lincoln. Sky Blakely, she convinced one judge, but couldn't convince the second. 9.975. I think Allie's going to start picketing the floor here in a second. Kayla DiCello, another world team member, world all-around bronze medalist back in 2021. Here she follows Sky Blakely.
She hasn't gotten a 10 on this event yet, but she has in her career.
That's the biggest break they've had in their whole bar rotation is that step, and it's not a big break. Wow.
And the arena was just quiet before she landed, too, because I think we were just as excited for the potential stick as Kayla was.
It should be a good score nonetheless, probably right around that 9.9 range. Kalia Lincoln flirts with perfection, but it's a career high, 9.975 for her. 2 yet to go. And they're both big-time vaulters. Here's Amari Drayton.
Got a 9.95 last meet. Again, powerful athlete, so she's gonna get high off the table. The challenge for her is adjusting to find her landing quickly. Wow. This has to be a 10, guys. Scores of building. You talked about the vibe on bars. Not only do we have great gymnastics, but there's a vibe in here.
The distance that Amari gets on vault that Kalia also got is just amazing. It's because her elbows are so straight. And John, as you mentioned, Amari's arms go flying out to the side. Textbook.
Yeah, for basketball fans, that's what we call a swish. No rim, no bounce, just a clean stick all around. LSU is on fire.
And Sam, you like to talk about the assist, the score before a 10. She's set up with that 9.975. We'll see what the judges do. Selena Harris Miranda now. Can she keep pace with the LSU Tigers on vault?
Selena's ability to hold her handstand position, I was watching her in warm-up, and it's actually the way that she wraps her thumbs around the bars is so unique and different, and actually something that the Florida coaches will request the athletes to change when they get to Florida, because they feel that's the best way to do it. Will we see a 10? There have been so many routines that should have gotten a 10 that haven't yet.
Big gymnastics, John, big money. This has got to be a 10 too. Arm straight.
There's that handstand.
Just holds it, does such a good job. And again, lands and freezes. That's the exclamation point. Owen Field likes it.
And we talk about a 10 being an emotional score, because there are routines that have gotten a 10 in the past that don't get it again. But the emotion in the arena is building, and it just feels like we're on the cusp of one. Back-to-back 9.975s. 4 9.975s in this competition so far. Kaylin Chio, she stuck this vault 7 times this season. Nobody, maybe in the history of collegiate gymnastics, does it better. Can she get number 8? She does.
Head coach Jay Clark said she has the chance to be the Michael Jordan type figure in college gymnastics, and it's moments like that that solidify that for me. Looks over her shoulder, similar to what we saw with Florida's Selena Harris Miranda. Helps her know exactly where she is to find the landing.
And it's like the second she came off the table, I know you guys felt the same way. The way she got the lift, you're like, she's sticking this vault. We've seen her do it all season. She did it again. Will that build? 2 9.975s in front of her. Can they get the 10? Selena Harris Miranda, 9.95. Here's Riley McCusker. She's gotten a 10 here. Can she do it again?
She always has good extension, nice form, all the way through her toes. There's just really never execution errors with this type of gymnast. Up on the landing, so it's not going to be a 10 tonight.
Guys, Riley McCusker competing for the last time here in the O-Dome. I asked her this week, what's one of the most proud moments from your career? She said it was that 10 on bars at SEC Championship last year. She said, after a second ankle reconstruction, I didn't know that I'd ever compete again. So to put up perfection in a meet like that meant everything. She was emotional. She told me she was a little emotional this week competing for the last time, but she told me she has no regrets, feels like she's turned every stone over in her final year of NCAA gymnastics.
Yeah, thanks, Taylor. It's been a special journey through collegiate gymnastics for Riley McCusker, a former elite as well, almost made an Olympic team in 2021 because of that event right there, the uneven bars, where she was world-class as an elite gymnast. Well, we've got some world-class gymnastics going on right here. How about the last 3 scores for LSU on vault? 3 9.975s. That means they got 3 10s, Allie.
But the judges do not want to give out 10s tonight. I mean, I am really impressed with the way that LSU came back from a couple of mistakes on bars. It's almost like that gave them a sense of relief, and then they came back and stuck 3 in a row.
Yeah, and when I say they gave 3 10s, one judge gave them a 10, the other a 9.95. Well, let's go down to Taylor. She's with Jay Clark.
Thank you very much, John. Well, Coach, some early struggles on bars before the back half of the lineup figured it out, but then you just put up a season high on vault. What have you seen from your team through 2?
I just love how they kept their cool when it started out a little bit rough. Lexi's eyes fought through that routine and covered her mistake, and if she doesn't do that, then we don't get that 9.7. It doesn't kind of salvage the whole event. And then to see them just come back, they're fighters, man. We ain't going away. I mean, this is a fun environment. We're having a good time in here. And I don't know. I enjoyed watching that.
These two tend to bring out the best in each other. We're a couple weeks away from postseason. What do you need to see from your team in the last 2?
Just keep competing hard. I mean, we were a good floor team. We know that. We're great on beam, too. This is a great environment. It's hard to compete here. And so I'm excited about what we're doing. You know, you come in these environments and it prepares you for what's coming very soon. That's what makes the SEC so great. There's 7 of us in the top 8, and we do this to each other every week. So
love it. Best of luck down the stretch. They're not going anywhere, John. He said it.
I would expect no less. Riley McCusker, by the way, in the anchor spot for the Florida Gators, 9.875. What does that all mean? Right now, it means the LSU Tigers are leading by 0.075 on the strength of 3 9.975s in a row on vault. The second half coming up. second rotation. Wow, it was a doozy. The LSU Tigers right now with a .075 lead over the host team, the Florida Gators. We're catching our breath. Allie, thoughts so far on that first half of competition?
Well, there's been 5 9.975s tonight. It's been a phenomenal and such an exciting competition. I'm in awe of how well these athletes are competing, and I cannot wait for Beam and Floor.
Well, they're making it look so easy, but let me remind you that asking an athlete to stick is so difficult because you got to have power with precision, and no one does it better than these 3 athletes because of the way that they stick. Look at that deep knee bend. They really sink into the floor, absorbing the landing mat, chest vertical, and it is so textbook, helping them to adjust every single time. And guess what? They all went from the same gym in Las Vegas, Nevada, Gym Cats.
Textbook
Well taught.
stuck landings, and again, so much of the meet comes down to that very moment. Kaylin Chio, she is the #1 gymnast in the country on the balance beam. Selena Harris-Miranda tied for second in the NCAA on the balance beam. They will both do that event here in the second half of the competition. LSU, they go to the balance beam. They are LSU goes to the floor exercise where they're ranked first in the nation. Florida goes to balance beam, first in the nation in a meet that is razor thin, going to their best events. What's gonna give the Gators, the Tigers? Hang on to your seats. This is a good one. So many highlights in that first rotation. LSU with that incredible vault performance have a .075 lead. Let's start with those highlights, Sam.
Well, this was fun. Yurchenko 1.5. Kalia Lincoln gets things started 9.975. Follows with another 9.975. That should have been a 10.
And Kaylin Chio, just the extension that she has onto the table, almost hits the table in a handstand position. Sam, that should have been a 10 too, not to sound like a broken record. And Sky Blakely, just exceptional gymnastics, elbows straight the entire time, and the hardest dismount in the entire competition, and just sticks it.
So again, tied after that first rotation. Now LSU with a .075 lead over the Gators. What is .075? That is a small step or a small hop on a landing. That is the difference between these two teams so far at the halfway point. Might as well be tied. And like I always say, Allie and Sam, the meet doesn't start till you get to what? Beam. And that is where the Florida Gators go now. They're #1 in the nation, as we mentioned on that event. Associate head coach Courtney McCool-Griffith. There you can see her in the black getting her team ready to go on floor exercise. That is an event where the LSU Tigers, they are ranked #1 in the nation. Interestingly enough, both these teams have also put up the highest score on their respective events in the entire country. So a big moment here. Can they deliver where they are the best?
Last meet, Skylar got a 9.95 in this role, which is really critical because similar to LSU, Florida has been trying to solidify their lineup in the front half of this beam lineup.
And Sam, Skylar was the beam opener in every meet in 2024 and all but one last season. So Skylar's very comfortable in this spot.
And you can see it right here, her steadiness, composure. Those are all the ingredients that, in my opinion, make a really good leadoff. And then for an athlete to be able to score 9.9 or better in this spot, coaches want to see scores that are going to be able to build. So far, there are no major deductions. If she sticks this, I was gonna say, if she sticks this, it's gonna be a 9.9 or better, but she might still flirt with that 9.9 because everything on the beam was so solid.
That first spot, so important. Allie, you just talked about it, and in getting things rolling on every event, but no event does it seem so important as it does on beam to get that momentum. Emily Innes, the senior, will lead things off for LSU on floor exercise. Taylor.
Well, Don, Emily is competing one of the few 3-pass routines that we see across NCAA gymnastics these days. And as a transfer, I asked her, did you debate it when you came in and were choreographing a new routine? She said, Courtney and I didn't even discuss it. She said, at this point in my career, I'm not looking to simplify. The reason I'm at LSU was because I was looking to level up my gymnastics. Jay Clark raves about the addition they got in Emily Innes.
Yeah, transfer from Washington, where she was a Big Ten All-Conference selection on this event. So nice addition for the Tigers.
She's consistent too. Last 2 meets have both been 9-9. Had a little trouble on that first pass landing.
Thursday, SEC Inside grants you an all-access pass to the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament. You'll get behind-the-scenes look with never-before-seen footage and sound from the tournament. 6 Eastern, right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. So Skylar Drazer in the leadoff spot for Florida, 9.825. We'll see what Emily Innes gets, see if she can keep pace with that. Here's Alyssa Arana now. Both these teams on pace after the first half to go 198. We talked about that number being important. That's a 9.9 average. So rotation 1, not on that pace, but man, did they step it up in that second one.
Opens that handspring layout series.
And this is the only event Alyssa's going to be competing tonight. She actually hasn't had a proper beam warm-up in about 2 hours. So she really has to figure out ways to stay mentally fresh, not get in her own head. What I noticed about this is the way she uses her arms and shoulders to elevate her jump.
Good posture, good recovery on that full turn adjustment. It's always the little easy skills that can sometimes get you. Two for two in terms of hit routines for Florida on beam.
Emily Innes for LSU on floor, 9.85.
And watch her shoulder position and her arms. They allow her to lift up. My coaches used to tell me to imagine someone's taking a photo of you. And if you took a photo of her, she'd have beautiful shoulders back, chest up, 180-degree split.
Head coach Jenny Rowland seems to like it. Now over to floor exercise with freshman Nina Ballou. Big time opening pass. We'll see a couple of these. This is a double layout to start. Big time gymnastics.
Judges are looking for hips open in that layout position. Don't want to see any pike down. No pike down there.
She's so fun to watch on this event. Such a crowd pleaser, only a freshman. And it really looks like she's getting comfortable too with the pressure and handling the nerves here.
Nicely done. Scores should build from that Emily Innes, 9.85 for the Tigers. Alyssa Arana in the 2 spot, 9.875 for the Gators as well. Last week, Sky Blakely world-class gymnast, but her first 10 in her collegiate career. What a big moment for her.
And it was the Gators' first 10 of the season. Look at this reaction. Man, nothing can replace the feeling of getting your first college 10. It is such a special moment. Head coach Jenny Rowland said that her name is going to be right underneath her sister Sloane's name too, because Sloane got a perfect 10 on floor twice. She was really excited about that.
Yeah, very cool. Incidentally, the latest 10 that the Gator team has gotten into the season since 2019. Used to getting a lot of 10s. They also had somebody named Trinity Thomas on their team that got a 10 just for showing up sometimes. She was good.
They switched her beam routine composition early in the season, added that triple wolf turn in order to make her series a little bit easier and more consistent for her. Obviously a good change since she's putting up perfect 10s.
Sky is doing a great job of keeping her rhythm. Judges want to see you continuously move throughout the routine, especially in between skills. And that wolf jump, just a slight little bobble right there.
She's been really open with us about how she's had a really strong mindset work, and that's another reason that she's been able to be so solid here. She makes this look easy, but this is, I'm gonna say, the hardest skill on beam in NCAA gymnastics. Good kick, legs glued together, spots the ground, no movement when she lands.
See how close she gets to perfection again here. After that 10 last week, Kylie Cohen now in the third spot. Nina Ballou, 9.875, so matches Alyssa Arana's score, the second gymnast for the Gators.
Kylie does all front tumbling, and so that back layout step out is actually a requirement. Judges want to see you do front tumbling and backwards. That's why she added that back layout right there.
Got a 9.975 last weekend. And she's fun to watch on this event, but if you watch her when she's not competing, guess what, guys? She's still gonna be dancing like this.
Judges are watching their feet position in between each event. They want to see them have their feet together, but also making sure they're finishing their jumps all the way around. No issues there, though. Very well done.
Kylie Cohen with the hit, trying to keep pace with Sky Blakely's 9.925. If you are keeping track at home, assume that first score for each team is their low. That second gymnast score, they're tied from Ballou and Arana with that 9.875. Now, can Cohen's score keep pace with that Sky Blakely 9.925? Remember, LSU with a .075 lead heading into this third rotation. MJ Frazier now takes to the balance beam.
I really love this routine. Her rhythm is unique to me because there's some areas where she speeds up and she's really quick. And then there's other areas where she's a little bit more artistic and flowy, but she always dances right out of her skills, and it makes it one complete performance that stands out, makes it look a little elevated in comparison to other athletes in the NCAA.
And Sam, that connection was so critical right there, the way that she took her time but continued to move her arms. And Sam, I completely agree with you. MJ's beam routine, the lightness that she lands, I feel like you can barely hear her. It reminds me of Carly Patterson's beam, the 2004 all-around Olympic champion.
Dynamic, confident, and difficult skills. Ring jump, loses sight of the beam there, quickly spots the end of the beam to know where she is. Yeah, big deep breath she needs right here because this is looking really good. Guys, this has to be a 10. We've said it a lot on this broadcast.
I'm getting tired of you guys saying that, okay? I'm just gonna say it right now. We have seen some greatness.
Then you tell me what you're taking on this routine, because senior night, no movement, textbook skills, beautiful artistry.
And watch her 180 degree completely over that and just completely loses sight of the beam. Her foot almost hits her head. So few athletes in the world even have the courage to do that difficult of a skill to lose sight of the beam.
Amari Drayton next to go on floor exercise. You can see the third score for both teams is a 9.925. So right now within this rotation, if you drop the low for each team, they are tied.
That was exceptional. The way that Amari just floats in that first tumbling pass. Same tumbling pass we saw by Nina.
Amari's consistently been going over a 9.9, but the interesting thing about this LSU floor team is they have a couple athletes not competing here that have also gone above 9.9. That's how deep they are on this event.
Oh, looks like they could take about a 10th deduction for that. Was a slight hop and then stepped crooked on that, but the height on that was huge, so she'll receive no deduction for the in air, just for the landing.
Look how stretched her hips are on this double layout, but I want to see her put more pressure on that front foot. You can see her heel raise up. That's getting into danger zone, but it's this last pass here, Allie, that you were mentioning. When she lands, she took that little hop, sidestep there, and that's really where the judges are going to get her on. Might be a 10th, might be a 10.5 to 2, actually.
Well, there's going to be some pressure on that Drayton score because MJ Frazier put up a 9.95, and that is the 9th score in this competition of 9.95 or 9.975. So we are seeing big-time gymnastics from two of the best teams in the country. Here's Kayla DiCello, currently ranked 9th in the nation on this event.
Another athlete that changed her routine construction. Routine construction just means you're switching elements and changing it around. Let me tell you, most teams in the country don't do this because most athletes don't have as many skills in their bag of tricks, but this Florida roster has the capability of doing probably 3 different balance beam routines. So it's about finding the skills that they can do under pressure with the least amount of mistakes.
And the hardest part about beam is the best athletes in the world pretend that they're on the floor, but so much easier said than done when you're up there on the beam and all eyes are on you.
Whenever you see an athlete smile right when they finish, you know they're feeling good, especially on this event here. She's feeling confident, knows she just has the dismount. It's gonna be another phenomenal score.
Go ahead, say it, guys, just say it.
She had a little bobble after her front aerial, John, so I'm actually okay with this one. Still a really beautiful routine, pushes through her toes for that straight leg handspring layout.
I'm going to guess this routine's going to get a 9.95 because, Sam, I saw that slight waiver after the front aerial, but we do have a different view than the judges, so maybe perhaps they didn't see that slight waiver.
So after dropping the low score in this rotation, if you look at the rest of the scores between these two teams, it's a 0.5 advantage for Florida. Right now, as we go over to the floor exercise, Kaylin Chio follows Amari Drayton's 9.9.
80% of Kaylin's routines this season have scored a 9.9 or higher.
Yeah, last meet was a 9.975.
Kaylin's last tumbling pass is a 2.5 punch front, and I think it's one of the riskiest tumbling passes to do. And I think throughout history in gymnastics, we've seen a lot of athletes struggle on it because it's so sensitive. You have to punch at the perfect angle in order to hit that punch front at just the right spot. Perfection. That connection right there, I think, is so difficult. I think an athlete should get extra bonus points for doing it in their routine, but especially for doing it at the end.
Incredible. Kayla DiCello puts up a 9.95, and Kaylin Chio has to come through in another big moment, and she just continues to do what she's done all season.
Well, she was good on this event last year, but this full in, 2 flips, 1 twist is better this year. The way that she just freezes her body on that first pass and right here just confirms to the judges that, hey, there was nothing wrong with this pass directionally or with any issues with control.
I mean, this meet is a heavyweight fight. This is Ali Frazier back and forth between these two teams here. Selena Harris-Miranda in a big spot.
And this triple series right here is so difficult. Selena does such a good job of pacing herself with her back handsprings. And this is the ultimate test of consistency right here, is Selena hasn't scored below a 9.9 on beam all season long.
Still looking for that first 10. She's number 2 in the nation on this event, and she's going to need to put up another 9.9 plus to keep it close with the Tigers, who are rolling on floor.
Well, I know I sound like a broken record tonight because the last time she competed this routine, it was a 9.975. So we got to see a 10 in this competition before we leave here. This is excellent gymnastics. Just the dismount. You know she's good at sinking into the landing.
3 for 3 tonight on stuck landings.
In this really difficult handspring layout, back handspring, her back foot was off the beam on that first back handspring, and she actually had to adjust throughout that entire series in order to not wobble at the end. That is veteran status.
Right now, if you drop the low score for both of these teams in this rotation on their respective events, this meet is tied before we get that Selena Harris-Miranda score, and obviously before Kalia Lincoln goes on floor exercise. This one feels like it is going to come down to the last landing of the night. Kalia Lincoln, big time on floor exercise, currently ranked 10th, but nobody in collegiate gymnastics can fly higher than her. The crowd is going nuts, and guess why? It's a 10, the first one of the season for Selena Harris-Miranda and the 9th of her career.
And it is so loud in this arena, and Kalia is probably hearing what's going on, but you would never know because that double layout, I've said it so many times, is one of the best in the world. The way that she lifts her shoulders up and uses her arms to stop her rotation. So powerful.
I actually loved when I would go compete at an away venue and the crowd was chanting, because I would just tell myself they were cheering me on, and especially on floor, sometimes you need a few extra cheers because it's so tiring.
The best LSU can do right now is to get a share of the lead after this third rotation, and to do that, You know what it's going to take. It's going to take perfection from Kalia Lincoln. Here's another look at this pass. This absolutely floats, you guys.
This first pass is exceptional. Her elbows are straight the entire time. Doesn't give you extra points, but just looks extra beautiful.
It almost looks like she's in a harness and someone's just pulling her up and holding her there because she gets so much airtime.
Some impassioned words from the head coach, Jay Clark. I don't think that Lincoln score is going to be a 10. If it's not, it's going to be close. But if it's not, that means the Florida Gators will have the lead, but it is going to be razor thin. Again, one rotation in, it was tied. After the second, it was .075 advantage for the Tigers, which again, that's a small step. It might as well still be tied, and I have a feeling that's how it's going to go to this fourth and final rotation. So a 9.975, one judge gave her a 10, and that means .025 is the difference between these two teams. The fourth-ranked Florida Gators, the second-ranked LSU Tigers. 2 weeks left in the season. What more do you want? Maybe the best meet we have seen all year. Unbelievable. I'm going to take a breath. In order to do that, I got to send it down to Taylor. Taylor, please take it away.
We're vibing down here, John, but I'm going to interrupt Jenny to ask her about this incredible, two Goliaths going at it so far through 3 rotations. What can you say about your team's output?
This team has come away these last 2 weeks realizing they truly do their best gymnastics when they're relaxed and having fun. Can't thank Gator Nation enough for showing up, having an amazing environment for these student athletes, and extremely proud of them.
Selena Harris-Miranda finally gets that 10. Your reaction to that?
Amazing, awesome. She works so hard. This beam team is just amazing, and they exude confidence. I'm extremely proud of how they step up and show up every day in the gym and on Sunday nights.
We expect to see that confidence as you head to floor. Best of luck.
Thank you so much. Go Gators.
Thanks, Taylor. Wow, what a competition we have on our hands. Selena Harris-Miranda in the anchor spot for Florida on beam. She didn't know it, but it had to be perfect for them to get the lead, and she was. For the first time this season, she gets a 10. Can they carry that momentum through to the end and get a big-time win here at the end of the season? Florida, where we have got an epic battle going on between LSU and Florida. Right now it's the Florida Gators, .025 ahead of the visiting LSU Tigers. Riley McCusker has been a sensational uneven bar worker for the Florida Gators throughout her competition, or career rather, here in Gainesville. 2-time NCAA runner-up, co-champion in the SEC on this event. World-class Allie on the international stage. Almost got herself on an Olympic team because of this event as well.
Yeah, for sure, John. I've had the pleasure of knowing Riley since she was a young gymnast. We used to go to training camp together, and what struck me about Riley is she is so focused and such a hard worker, and she should be so proud of the career that she's had.
Well, Taylor Davis is with Riley McCusker. Taylor?
I sure am, John. Thank you very much. Well, Riley, your final meet here in the O-Dome tonight. What can you say about your time here at Florida and the impact it's had on you?
It's meant everything to me. Gator Nation is so supportive, and I couldn't imagine going through my college career with anybody else. The coaches are amazing. I love this team, and yeah.
You've left quite a mark, and your gymnastics career isn't over yet, but as you look toward the future, I know you've got some big goals. You're involved in a research internship right now with the USAG team physician. Tell me a little bit more about that study.
Yeah, so I'm learning with the doctors at HSS, and I'm learning more about research, and it's been amazing. And we need more females in biomedical research to study for female athletes. So it's really cool to be able to start that now, because that's something I definitely want to do for the rest of my career.
incredible. I have no doubt you'll be amazing at it. Congrats on everything so far.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
John, she's studying specifically the impact of women's gymnastics in that study as well. Who better to do it than Riley McCusker, right?
Absolutely, nobody better. What a joy it's been to watch her throughout her collegiate career. Congratulations. Still some to go, and still some to go for this athlete, Kaylin Chio. She has been sensational all year, but the beam, 3 10s in a row, Sam.
That is just remarkable. She is just perfection. Every single time she salutes, it seems, but it's those landings to me that are so impressive. Her way of adjusting, her confidence, her composure, it permeates from her. Could tonight be her 4th in a row? Perfect 10 on balance beam.
She'll be anchoring the beam rotation next. Somebody give me a doggy bag. We're taking this one home.
From Florida, scores the first perfect 10 of the night. She looked incredible up there, put them in the lead. And Kalia Lincoln bounces back. Huge double layout, sky-high tumbling passes, scoring a 9.975. She keeps LSU in this race. Guys, rotation number 4, it's gonna come down to every single little 10th.
Here is your meet summary. As we mentioned, tied after 1 rotation, then LSU brings it back to a .075 lead on their side, but Florida flips it ever so slightly after that sensational beam rotation. They have a .025 lead, and now Florida has the top 2 beam team scores this season across the entire NCAA. What's at stake? This would be LSU's first win at Florida since 2018. That would be big for them. Leading off for the Tigers, Kylie Cohen.
And LSU is still trying to navigate who the right beam opener is. Head coach Jay Clark said that this is unusual for them. This isn't the formula they normally follow. Typically, they have the beam opener at the very beginning of the season. So it's quite late for them to be still figuring it out.
But he said there's not really a wrong answer. She can go 9.9 plus. Lexi Zeiss, who's been in this leadoff position, can go 9.9 plus. So it's a benefit, but it's also a curse of having so many great options.
And we talked about that 9.9 and how important it is for teams like this to average a 9.9 to win championships, to defeat each other. And right now, both teams averaging over a 9.9 across this competition.
Looking so solid.
Just pike down slightly on that dismount. Judges could take a 10.5 for those 2 steps backwards.
Let's go to Taylor.
Well, an unfortunate injury update for Florida this week. Taylor Clark ruptured her Achilles training floor this week. She did undergo surgery on Friday. I'm told everything went well. She is in the house tonight. She is with her teammates. She's been cheering, dancing. Head coach Jenny Rowland wasn't sure she would be here since she had surgery 2 days ago. I asked Taylor why she's here. She said it was incredibly important to her to be here for senior night, to close out their home meets with her team, and she was in great spirits, told me it's going to be part of her story. That comeback is already on her mind.
Thanks, Taylor. Gabby Dizador, the junior, leading things off for Florida on floor exercise.
Sister Amelia has also been in this leadoff spot for Florida on floor. But last meet, Gabby got a 9.9 here, and she looks to be on pace to get that or better.
A 9-9 on the leadoff spot would be huge for the Gators right here. Kylie Cohen, a 9.825 in the leadoff spot for LSU. They're going to have to do better than that, certainly. We'll have all first and second round games as well as the late quarterfinal matchups of the SEC men's basketball tournament right here on the SEC Network. Our first round coverage begins Wednesday at noon Eastern with the SEC Now crew. And as always, you can catch all the action on the ESPN app. Yeah, I said 9-8s keep you in it, guys. 9-8s do not keep you in it anymore, it feels like in this meet. You got to go 9-9 or better if you want to win here in Gainesville tonight.
Well, at the beginning of the season, John, that would fly, but we're heading into the postseason where these teams have worked out their kinks. They should be so confident up there.
Here's sophomore Lexi Zeiss.
You know, what was interesting is talking to head coach Jay Clark. He said that she's extremely competitive, and he compared her to teammate Kaylin Chio in the way that she approaches the competition. Didn't compete beam last year, but has grown so much, been on beam almost every single weekend this year. And it's because of these strong finishes that she's put up some good numbers.
Going to do the same wolf turn we saw from Kayla DiCello.
There she goes, gets them back on track for those stuck landings. Kind of bobble after the wolf turn, but that was the biggest major deduction that I could spot. Look at her arms and also her legs. She's over 180, but it's her arms and her posture that really stand out to me, making it a really beautiful shape.
They know they're in a close one. There's associate head coach Courtney McCool-Griffith. Danny Ferris now follows the 9-9 from Gabby Dizador. Tremendous start score. If Florida can continue to build on that 9-9, the pressure will be immense on the Tigers.
We've seen how good Florida can be on bars and beam, but I think we really haven't until this point seen their potential on vault and floor. Today was a really good showing for them on that first event vault, and they're hoping to seal the deal here and put up their highest potential on floor, hopefully gaining confidence going into the postseason.
Danny's high is a 9.925, and I'm expecting that to be close to that tonight. And this first tumbling pass, watch the height she gets on her back handspring. The round of back handspring is critical no matter what you're doing after that in order to set you up to get the height. And then watch in this layout position, her arms fly out to the side, helps her stay balanced, steps out of it into a dance to try to give the illusion that she has more control than she did. Great job.
And to give you an idea of how home court advantage works in gymnastics, the visiting team, as we mentioned right off the top, and as you're seeing right now, they got to end on beam. This is Amari Drayton for LSU. Meanwhile, the excitement and the energy in the O-Dome is building with every Florida floor team. As the scores come in, the crowd goes wild, and you've got to perform through it on this event. So tough.
And Amari fell on this skill right here last week. Great correction this week.
They had 2 meets last weekend. That Friday meet, she had a fall, but came back strong on Sunday with a 9.925. And head coach Jay Clark said, we try not to hyper-focus on mistakes at all. We're not a team that requires perfection. He said, we strive for it and we work towards that, but it's not a requirement. And he thinks that mindset shift has really helped his athletes, especially Amari, come back strong from mistakes.
Gotta stick every landing. She does it right there. They needed it. 13th ranked gymnast in the nation on that event, and they're looking for their first 9.9 still here in this rotation.
If that doesn't give you confidence, I don't know what will.
And her knees are so straight right here. She just catapults off of the beam, lands it completely upright, does that dismount as well as she could have.
Not sure if that routine could have been better from Amari Drayton. Danny Ferris, a 9.925. Here is your all-around competition as well. Those gymnasts competing all 4 events, and it's like a who's who of women's collegiate gymnastics there. MJ Frazier following again. That Danny Ferris 9.925 scores, building for the Gators.
MJ making her first pass double layout look so effortless and easy. And coming up right here, she's gonna do a straddle jump. And right there, that certainly will catch the judge's eye. Does it right in front of them. Just the flexibility is incredible.
She moves so well. Has scored 2 perfect 10s on this event when she was at Cal. Crowd is on their feet. They want to see a big score. I think they're going to get it.
And the flexibility, watch the straddle jump right here. I haven't seen many straddle jumps as with their heels that high. And this front through, she gets 1/10 bonus for connecting the punch front into the double tuck. Controls that so well.
I think the coaches are going to get bonus for the amplitude on their jumps on the sidelines. They are feeling it right now. The crowd is feeling it. If you're the Tigers, you are going to have to get in your zone and be exceptional. This is Kalia Lincoln. She's following the first 9.9 for the Tigers in this rotation, and it's a big one. It's a 9.95 for Drayton. The crowd chanting 10 in the background during this Lincoln beam routine.
I think Kalia is an athlete that doesn't get the recognition she deserves on this event. And that connection right there, it's gonna be interesting to see if the judges give it. She kept moving, but she did dip her shoulder out of alignment with the beam. So if the judges see it, and slightly right there too, they could give her a hard time with her 10.0 start value. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with that.
I think they're going to give it to her. And I think that because she did such a good job speeding her arms up, even though she was slightly off balance. But for me, Kalia has so much power. What I want to see is a little bit more conviction, actually just like that landing on all of her skills. That would really show the judges that she has total control of all of her landings.
And this dismount is so hard because she's gonna do a 1.5 just from a back handspring. Gets that landing.
I think the Kaylin Chio sticks are rubbing off on the rest of the team because Kalia has been on with her landings tonight, man.
And watch her shoulders, see it dips, and the judges do not have this angle. They're watching it from the side, so they might not have seen it, but from this angle, I'm told that if they dip their shoulder, they do not get the connection.
MJ Frazier, a 9.975. That's a season-high score for her. Let's go down to Taylor.
Sam, you mentioned Florida needing to find some consistency. We've covered them several times this year, and I can say down here on the floor with them, This has been the loosest, most energetic version of Florida I've seen all season. And I talked to Kayla DiCello early in the season, and she said, look, we know what this roster is made up of and the fact that it comes with expectations. Our job is going to be how we deal with those so that that's not what's driving us.
Yeah, they certainly have turned the page on this season. It looked like a different team tonight.
Head coach Jenny Rowland has been telling us about it, Taylor, but I think this is really our first time seeing it in action in competition, and you can just see them smiling and a little bit more relaxed on the sidelines as well.
Kalia Lincoln on beam, 9.95. That's 3 career-high scores in a row for the Tigers. They're not going away quietly, that's for sure.
Kayla doing the same wolf turn that she did in her beam routine, that double turn. And in Kayla's last tumbling pass, she usually does a 1.5 punch front full. She's just gonna do a 1.5 front layout tonight. Was trying to push the coaches to let her do the more difficult tumbling, but they felt this was the least deductible routine, and I think it was a good choice on their part.
Every score has built for the Gators. The only score left is a 10. Will this be it?
Finishes combination pass. She made a few adjustments to her beam routine and gained a lot more confidence, started putting up bigger numbers there. I expect the same thing to happen with this floor score.
Let's go over to Taylor at beam.
A couple weeks ago, Connor McLean was held out of the entirety of competition against Oklahoma, but last weekend, 7 routines in 3 days, and she put up nothing below a 9.9. Head coach Jay Clark said it was important for that mental reset for her to remember who she is. After beam last weekend in the PMAC, she was seen getting emotional. I asked her why. She said, I finally feel like myself again.
Yeah, Taylor, her first 6 competitions on beam, she only broke a 9.9 once. Her last 2 performances on the competition floor, 9.95 and 9.975. She might have to be even better than that now because the Gators are giving them no margin.
Well, we've known how amazing Connor is on all the events, but especially balance beam. She overextends her leaps. She's very quick with her arm positions, having those strong connections, but she did have some bobbles, and that really led me to think that she was second guessing herself, but not the last few routines. She has really been on top of it. And it's her arm positions. I call it quiet arms. Right when she lands, they freeze in the correct positions. That really helps her stay balanced, stay sharp on the beam.
Gotta stick it. Oh, and she doesn't.
Man.
It was there. And I'll tell you what, there is a .075 difference. Florida, if you drop the low, has a .075 advantage over the Tigers. That had to be a stuck landing.
And watch right there, just ever so slightly that wobble. That was the only, besides the step, the only slight waiver. But right here is textbook example of what the judges want to see with your connection. She moved so quickly. Actually could have even taken her time and moved slower. Very impressive how fast she moved.
Sky Blakely now on floor exercise. It feels like Florida needs to give the Tigers an opening, and when I say that, an extra step on a landing. Something like that just to give them that margin they need, because right now it's all Gators.
Huge handspring double front to a stag jump. We'll see what the judges do with that stag jump. It was huge, but it was slightly out of control.
.9 for Connor McLean. Would that have been a 10, guys? If not for that step, we'll never know.
last tumbling pass that we just saw from Kayla DiCello. No front full, going to do a front layout.
I'd say those changes worked well for them today. I'm gonna guess we're gonna see that throughout the rest of the season.
How she's able to get so high is her elbow position on her front handspring and just flies out of that stag jump. I mean, it was so excellent. In this last tumbling pass, no deductions there. Maybe a half a tenth off for that first tumbling pass, but the way that she has so much power is so impressive.
Yeah, her left arm got a little happy on that ring jump out of that pass, but I'm actually impressed she was able to save it with how much power she had.
Now Kaylin Chio on the balance beam, 3 10s in a row. It almost feels like only a 10 is going to give them a chance. Obviously, that Sky Blakely score is so important.
5 perfect 10s in 17 days. She just lifted her heel, though, and these judges seem to not want to be throwing 10s when there shouldn't be one, which I guess is a good thing.
I can only imagine how difficult it is in this moment for Kaylin to try to block out the pressure of trying to add a 4th 10 in a row, but just continue to be in awe of her ability to block everything out and handle the pressure.
There's someone that is so stoic, so icy. It's Kaylin Chio. She's an excellent personality for this anchor role.
I don't want to ruin the ending, but she's about to stick this landing. Unbelievable. I'll tell you what, she never ceases to amaze me. I mean, someday we're going to send the first astronaut to Mars. They're going to get out of the spaceship, and Kaylin Chio is going to greet them. I mean, there is nothing she cannot do.
She's going to greet them with a stuck landing.
Next up on floor is Selena Harris-Miranda. All she needs for the Gym Slam is a 10 on this event. It is senior night. The O-Dome is rocking. A Gym Slam is when you get a 10-0 over your career on all 4 events. This building is on fire, and I'll tell you what, if she hits this well and doesn't get a 10, the judges might want to look for a tunnel to escape the venue because this crowd is going to go nuts.
And she's got the assist with the 9.975 right before her, so scores are building.
That first tumbling pass was excellent, but she did land with her chest a little low and had a little scooch back. I think the judges could take half a tenth for the scooch back and half a tenth for the chest.
And that Sky Blakely 9.975, that clinches the team title for the Florida Gators. This routine right here, this is just a walk-off for Selena Harris-Miranda.
My guess is she was trying too hard. She was thinking all the things that we were saying, which is so hard not to do when you're in those moments.
And Sam, something that Coach Rowland said is they really don't want to focus on the 10. She said, we're very happy with the 9.95 that Selena gets all the time.
Well, it's not going to be a 10, but it's going to be a strong score still. And this, by far, is the best meet that Florida has put together all season long. Guys, they are going to be peaking at the right time.
That is the headline, Sam. The Florida Gators, you can see that number, 198.4, huge number, the biggest for them this season.
And the height on this is excellent, but just the chest and the scooch back. But what really sets Selena apart is her flexibility in everything she does. It's so hard to find a place to deduct. Watch her toes even pointed and then exclamation point at the very end with that high jump.
Let's see that Kaylin Chio, 9.975 to finish there. 9.95 for Selena Harris Miranda. What a performance from her and the Florida Gators. And that is also going to be the all-around title for Selena Harris Miranda. 198.45 for the Florida Gators, the highest this season. We're going to wrap this up when we come back. Farmers Market, official healthy grocer of the Southeastern Conference. Well, we've had some good meets this season, but I think we saved the best for last. As we approach the end of the regular season, the Florida Gators and the LSU Tigers put on an absolute clinic. Selena Harris Miranda wins the all-around. The Florida Gators win the competition with the highest score in the NCAA this season, a 198.45. LSU, a tremendous score of a 198.325 as well. And right now, we're going to go down to Taylor with a couple of very happy Florida Gators.
Very happy indeed. MJ Frazier and Selena Harris Miranda join me now. MJ, I'm going to start with you. You've got a little bit of emotion going on right now. Walk me through the feelings.
I mean, the most I can ask for is to just be present and enjoy every moment of my senior year with these girls that are my built-in sisters, my best friends. I could not be more grateful to be here. I love the Gators. I love my teammates, and I'm so grateful to be here.
All the feels. I told you guys. Selena, I'm going to talk to you because you just won the all-around title on senior night. I know how important this program is to you as well. What did this performance mean to be able to contribute for your team this way?
Yeah, oh my God. I told myself this morning, I was like, I'm going to do it for my teammates because they're like my little sisters away from home, and I just wanted to make them so proud, and I want them to know that they make me so proud every day. So it just meant the world today to come out here, and it's crazy to think that it's my senior night. It feels like I would never be done, so it's crazy, yeah.
You both have been such incredible additions to this program. MJ, as postseason rapidly approaches, you guys put up a score like this in a top 5 matchup. What gives you the confidence that this team is about to go on a run?
This team's amazing. If we stay present, stay with each other, and stay within ourselves, you will get the outcome that we just got tonight. This is not new. This is what we practice every day. And we were just out here celebrating each other, celebrating the moment and this team. And you know what? If we keep doing what we do today, which we are working super hard on, yeah. Yeah.
Look out for the Gators. Same question for you, Selena. What was different tonight?
I think like we have really good chemistry, but today was on like a different level. Like a lot of giggling, a lot of laughter. Like if there's a picture I could draw, it was like this today. And if we get even closer than that, then it's going to be crazy what we do as a team. So
a couple weeks to go until SECs. Looking forward to seeing you guys there. Congratulations.
Thank you.
John.
Thanks, Taylor. Sam, thoughts?
It's so incredible to see them perform at that level on senior night. I remember my senior night, and I split the beam because it was so emotional. What an incredible night for these athletes.
I feel lucky I was able to be here in person to watch this incredible competition. There were 18 scores of 9.95 or better. Incredible.
Well, our final score, the Florida Gators, the highest in the nation, 198.45. They get the win. For Allie Raisman, Sam Pesek, Taylor Davis, I'm John Roethlisberger. So long from Gainesville.